Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ari. So guys, tomorrow is actually a very exciting day for me. As I talked about in one of my previous videos, I talked about getting my surgery letter of approval from my therapist. I haven't actually got it yet, but I've been told I can get it at my next appointment. So what I have in the meantime is tomorrow I have to drive about 2 hours away from home to go have a consultation with a surgeon for top surgery. Now that doesn't mean that this will end up being the surgeon that I'm going to go with. This is the first consultation. I just kind of want to see what they feel like they would be able to do for me. So it's incredibly exciting, incredibly nerve-wracking. I'm going to keep you guys updated. So the rest of this video I'll actually do after the consultation so I can fill you in and tell you how things went. So that's pretty much it for now. I will see you guys shortly when I continue the video. Okay guys, I'm back. When I did the little recording the other day, I was talking about my top surgery consultation. That's been a couple of days ago since I had the consultation, so I'll go over how that went. If you see me looking down or grabbing this, it's because I kind of took notes, immediately after I got out of the consultation. I tried to write everything down because I didn't want to forget anything. So that's kind of what I'm referencing back to. So let's talk about how the consultation went. For starters, the drive to the doctor's office absolutely sucked. It was a 2-hour drive where I have to drive through 2 major cities in my state. And the whole time I was dealing with heavy rain and fog. I couldn't see hardly anything in front of me. It was just a miserable drive. I thought I was going to lose my mind by the time I got there. But I got there a little bit early, and I didn't have too much difficulty finding the office. I went in. I'd already filled out a lot of my paperwork online, so I just had a couple of forms that they needed my signature on, which I did all of that. And then they took me into the doctor's office. Now, when I say doctor's office, I don't mean like an exam room. I mean like this was his desk set up front and couches and chairs and all of that thing, that kind of office. So they took me there. The nurse came in first and she went over the information I had submitted online and verified that all of it was correct. And then she kind of left me there to wait for the doctor to be in just a moment. So once the doctor came in, we talked about kind of the general idea of what I was going for. He wanted to know what type of size I was looking for, which is a C cup is what I want. He wanted to discuss kind of how he typically does the procedures, things about the recovery time and all of that, which I'll go over all that near the end of the video. Once he went over some basic information with me, then he left the room and the nurse came in and took me to the exam room, which started the more interesting aspect of the consultation. So once they got me in the exam room, I had to undress from the top up, and they give you this really, really irritating open front gown, which is kind of funny because they all step out of the room while you disrobe, which is really funny because they're going to come in and then rip the robe open anyway, so I digress. So when they came back in, they brought in a cart that was basically full of sizers, implant sizers. And so we kind of went over, the doctor talked about what I was looking for, and we settled on 3 different sizes for me to try. One, and I forgot to mention, of course, I had, my chest examined, all of that first. But we settled on 3 different sizes, a 350cc, a 375cc, and a 400cc. Now, they don't directly correspond to cup size, because it's all based on what you already have. But the doctor said that his best guess would be that the 350 would put me at a full B, maybe a low C. The 375 would put me at a C, and the 400 would put me closer to a smaller D. So once we had picked out those three, he left the room, and then it was time for me to kind of try them on with the nurse that was there. So I tried all three on in basically a sizer bra, I guess is what you would call it, to see how full it looked. Of course, it's not a perfect, because it's kind of awkward. It's just kind of in the bra, but it gave me a little bit of a better look of what I could potentially gain from the implants. When that was all said and done, I pretty well settled, I have settled, on the 375 cc. I feel like that would be best for me, and the doctor is pretty much in agreement on that. So once we had made the decision on that, the nurse went ahead and took the before photos that they have to put in their file, and then the doctor came back in, and of course I got to finally close back up and talked about the decision on the sizing and everything that he felt he would be able to do. After that, they both leave. I'm able to finally get dressed, and the scheduling and pricing agent for them comes in, goes over pricing, which I felt was incredibly reasonable, scheduling, which they can get me in really quick. Like, they said that if I was ready to go, they could get it done before the end of April. So that was kind of surprising. I got all my paperwork. My quote on price is good for 6 months. I did not schedule yet because I don't have my letter in hand. I have to go to my therapist on Monday, and then I should have the letter in hand at that point in time, God willing. I'm going to kind of push on that, and then I can look at getting things scheduled. Okay, so the details that the doctor had went over with me, which I am going to grab my notebook just to glance down. Of course, the first thing is after surgery, you're in a sports bra pretty much day and night for a full month. He said that he didn't think it was really a terribly painful procedure, that usually prescription pain medication is only needed for like 3 days, and then over-the-counter is more than sufficient. Limitations on lifting no more than 10 pounds for that first month. 2 weeks after surgery, I'd come back. He would remove the stitches, which we did talk about incision, and he wants to do under, because it doesn't risk as much nerve damage. And they have ways with the way they do the stitches. Most of them are internal now, and they can actually go to one side, cut that stitch, and pull everything out very smoothly. So I would go back after 2 months. No exercise for that month. The only thing you can do is walk. After a month, I'd have a checkup where he'd look to see how everything was healing, how I'm doing with all of it, and then he'd want to follow up about 3 months later. Overlook my sniffles, I have a cold. But about 3 months later, he would want to follow up to make sure everything was still doing well. Some of the details we talked about, like I mentioned, the incision location, we did determine it will be under the muscle. So that was another important part of it. The surgery itself, which is done in a hospital, only takes 1 hour. Now, of course, you're going to be there more than an hour because you've got to go in, anesthesia, have the surgery, come out of anesthesia, check out, all of this. But the surgery itself is 1 hour, and I'm literally back home the same day. So there's a lot to look at on it. If I can get everything worked out with my therapist and get the letter, I am going to go ahead and schedule it. And if I can get it scheduled for the month of April, I'm probably going to go ahead and do that. So super excited, because it means new clothes eventually when I can afford them. But it's going to be great for me, because my chest has always been one of the areas that I have the most dysphoria about. Even though I've seen growth and I have an A cup, that still just isn't the greatest, but everything went really well. My doctor has more than 20 years experience doing breast augmentations. He's also very, very actively involved in trans surgeries. He's done a lot of top surgeries for transgender people in our state. So, very good consultation. I'm pretty well nailing down that this is definitely the doctor I'm going to go with, and hopefully I can get this done really soon, which would be fantastic, because then I can hopefully get back to some semblance of a regular life until I move on to the next surgery. So guys, I kind of forgot to record the ending segment of this video, so that's why what you're getting is just audio. I just wanted to give you the update on the breast augmentation consult and what I'm thinking about for the future, hopefully getting this done this month. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. My little quote from Kesha: don't let the bastards get you down. Reach for your dreams. Run for them regardless of what anyone thinks. And be proud of who you are. Until the next video, guys, I love you, and I'll see you soon.